Things just took a major turn for the Boston Red Sox due to the play of star Rafael Devers. I'm here to break down his recent performances and what this could mean for the Boston Red Sox organization going forward and why it should have Red Sox fans fired up. I'm here to break it all down on this episode of Red Sox Digest. But first, before we get to the news and information, please do remember to subscribe to the channel, as nearly 90% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys tremendously for everything. But now let's get to it and break down how here comes Rafael Devers and how this is going to be one of the biggest turning points of this MLB season. And yes, I do understand we are only in the month of May. There is a lot, and I mean a lot, of baseball left to be played for all teams involved. But Rafael Devers making this massive change, in this massive boost in his play, is going to translate for the rest of this MLB season for this Red Sox team. Now, we know how this offseason went. There was conversations, there was drama, there was speculation from start all the way up until now. I can't even say until the finish because it's still going. And again, we are in the middle, close to the middle of this MLB season. Now, Rafael Devers, the third baseman defensively for the Red Sox. They go out and acquire Alex Bregman. All hell breaks loose because Bregman is now the starting third baseman defensively for the Boston Red Sox. There's an uproar. There's a fit thrown by Rafael Devers. There's words said claiming that he's not going to move positions because, well, frankly, he is the third baseman. That was the job he was promised, and he's not going to move. Well, end result, he moves the DH. And how does the season start? Well, he starts 0 for 20 at the dish, and it was a lot of strikeouts. I believe 17 of them out of those first 21 plate appearances, and things just did not look good, not only for Rafael Devers, but the entirety of this Red Sox team, as Devers is one of the pieces that makes this team go regardless of the way you want to look at it. Time went by, a few more reps were acquired, because again, you have to keep in mind, despite all of the struggles, no one expected Devers to come out and slash 500 to start the MLB season, especially after he missed all of spring due to injuries and, again, just working back to being at a full-time player. Now, things have quickly adjusted. Rafael Devers has found a groove, despite of all the new conversations that have now kicked off in this saga of a problem, if you will, if you wish to label it that, with Rafael Devers, in the idea that he is now going to move positions once again from DH, but now to first base, with, again, the unfortunate departure due to injury to Tristan Casas. Now, again, no one expected Devers to come out and absolutely destroy baseballs, but he, at least, and again, I'm specifically referencing the first few weeks of the season, because again, the missed time during spring. Devers, like we mentioned, started very slow, and amongst all of the drama, whether it be from him moving the third to DH and now DH to first base, Devers has been able to turn a page, really find himself offensively, and it has resulted in just spectacular play, in transcendent play, if you will, from Rafael Devers. He is going to be phenomenal for this Red Sox team, and it's just what we're accustomed to seeing in the sense of fans of this Red Sox team, with Rafael Devers a part of it, regardless of the defensive position he may be playing, whether it be third, whether it be first, or whether or not he is simply just a DH. This is the overall production, everyone in the sense of a fan standpoint, and even if I had to assume in a front office standpoint, that they are expecting from Rafael Devers. Now, if we looked at this Baseball Savant page just a month ago of Rafael Devers, we would have seen a drastically different Baseball Savant. And again, if you look at this one, he's amongst a very, very small pool of players having this level of production. There's only a few things below league average. Now, there are a few things where he's just not doing all that well up to this point and that are way below league average, like the squared up rate is way down, as well as the whiff percentage also being way down, which is a bit odd because Rafael Devers has done such a phenomenal job, even in that early stretch to start the MLB season where he was 0 for 21, 0 for 20, whatever it was, with a bunch of strikeouts in that percentage. He has done such a great job to see a lot of pitches, work counts, get deep into counts, make these pitchers really expand themselves, and get him out with great pitches. Now, Devers, since then, has, again, made pitching just against him a living nightmare, not only because he's doing such a great job at seeing so many pitches and working counts and getting on base via the free pass, but now he is starting to mash baseballs. And he is just he's killing it. And I really don't even know how else to explain it. Please watch the Red Sox games. Please watch Rafael Devers at bats, because he is simply turning this Red Sox offense into scary, into flat out terrifying, because with the run support that Devers is going to add to this offense in its entirety is going to take them from step 1 to step 5. And I mean that in all honesty. Yes, Alex Bregman has been phenomenal. Yes, players like Jarren Duran and Ceddanne Rafaela, as well as even Carlos Narvaez, and they've been playing well. They've been playing very well, but they haven't been all that consistent. And now that Rafael Devers is that guy in the 2-hole for this Boston Red Sox team, it looks like things are going to simply take off for this Red Sox offense. And again, back to the baseball savant. Expected batting average, expected WOBA, the barrel percentage, the hard hit rate. All of these things are way, way up, including, like we mentioned earlier, the base on balls percentage for Rafael Devers. And if you look at the spray chart, he is best when he is hitting oppo to left center field, something we've seen him do in Fenway Park for years now. And now getting up to this point in the season in May, he is really starting to excel, especially with hitting that ball to opposite field. The ability to square up the baseball, despite the Baseball Savant page not really highlighting and showcasing his high percentiles amongst the rest of the league in doing so, he is really starting to find his rhythm and his groove at the plate and his ability to hit to opposite field, as well as just doing what he can with good pitches or even bad pitches that he is seeing, and his ability to get on base, hit for extra base hits is now going to be felt amongst the league. Now, if you look, these are his stats. They are not all of his splits, but the reason I give you guys this graphic to highlight is if you look at the very bottom of this graphic and you see the month of May, it's slightly darker in the sense of the gray tone that is the background of it, if you will. In 10 games in May, up to this point, Rafael Devers is hitting .459 in the month of May. He is starting, and this is not an exaggeration, he is starting to mash baseballs, and this is going to transcend this Red Sox offense. I know I sound like a broken record. I know I've said it already a bunch of times in this video, but you guys just have to try to understand and fathom how good Rafael Devers has been up to this point in May. And if this is something the Red Sox continue to rely on, and if this is something they can continue to rely on from Rafael Devers and the overall offensive production he is bringing this Red Sox offense, it is not going to be able to be maintained. Not with him hitting in the 2-hole behind someone in Jarren Duran, who's on pace to steal, 60 bags this year, who is getting on base at an excellent clip. Yes, he's not at his top-tier performance just yet, but allow him to find his time. Allow him to find this rhythm, hitting in front of Rafael Devers, who is then hitting in front of Alex Bregman, as well as players like Trevor Story, Carlos Narvaez, who has been a bright point for this Red Sox team, not only defensively, but as well as offensively. This team, from top to bottom, has great speed, great defensive ability, with the ability to also hit for power and get on base and get around those bases. This Red Sox team is going to be a problem. Now, Rafael Devers is obviously the highlight of this conversation, and This is where I try not to lose my mind, because with the conversations and the saga that we discussed earlier in this video about obviously the entirety of this past offseason and the third base drama, going to DH, the DH drama, and now going to first base, and the drama that has been just thrown all over the Boston Red Sox organization and really across the MLB, as it's one of the biggest talking points today, as this is one of the most recent conversations. Twitter accounts like FanDuel and MLB Network and these fan pages for teams like the Cubs, as well as other big name markets, are throwing out these trade proposals with the idea that Rafael Devers is going to be available for trade from the Boston Red Sox because of the drama and the saga and the speculation that is surrounding him. You're out of your mind. There's no way. Like, if you want to give us Aaron Judge, Trent Grisham, and if you want to give up a haul that would be otherworldly for someone like Rafael Devers, I don't even know if they pick up the phone then. Rafael Devers is young. He has a lot of upside. And yes, he does want to play third base. And now he doesn't want to play first base. But the offensive production is not something to really joke about and something to really juggle with. Devers is in a class of very, very few, especially when he's swinging the way he is through the month of March. Now, am I saying he's going to hit 450 or 460 for the rest of the 182 game series? No. And I understand that is just unfathomable for him to even assume that he would be able to do. But have faith. This is what Rafael Devers is. This is what he brings to the table, specifically offensively. And this is exactly what Red Sox fans should want to see from Rafael Devers in the sense of overall offensive production. Now, to highlight the actual tweet that I am referencing and in the sense of all these teams presenting trade ideas for Rafael Devers in the midst of all the chaos drama that is being discussed. FanDuel, the sportsbook, went on to post this tweet saying, Rafael Devers and the Red Sox are at odds. The Cubs have a major hole at third base. Should Chicago and Boston link up on a massive trade for a 3-time All-Star? And it goes on to present a graphic where it says, who would say no? And it says, it really is just funny at this point. I'm sorry the font's small, I have to lean in. The Cubs would then get Rafael Devers and left-handed pitcher Sean Newcomb as well, that's what would go to the Cubs, and then in exchange, the Boston Red Sox would get third baseman prospect in Matt Shaw, a very young and promising player they got from the Houston Astros, in exchange for that major trade they did earlier this offseason for Kyle Tucker. And then you would see, as well as another prospect, or two other prospects, and John Birdie. I'm sorry the font is very small, that's why I'm leaning into my screen like my glasses aren't big enough. But again, the idea is the same. This is comical, and this shouldn't even be a legitimate conversation. These teams are just clickbaiting in hopes for more views and more overall just clicks. This is not something that should gain any momentum in the sense of legitimacy for the Boston Red Sox and Rafael Devers' future, because again, this is the Rafael Devers everyone was expecting to see when the season officially started. Just because it started slow, do not sell him now. He is going to continue to produce in a Red Sox offense that is absolutely loaded. Remember, last year without Alex Bregman and without Tristan Casas for the vast majority of last season, and Jarren Duran having a career year, they were 9th ranked in all of offense in all of baseball. Now they have Devers, who's hitting almost 460 in the month of May. They have Alex Bregman, who has over a 1,200 OPS up to this point in the year, as well as through his 8-year career as an away team playing, or an away player, if you will, playing in Boston. This offense is going to transcend, and it's going to continue to get better and better as they gain the reps alongside of one another. Again, I think it's comical to see all of these crazy ideas for trade possibilities for Rafael Devers. The Boston Red Sox aren't trading Devers, and if they even are considering it, it's comical. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below what you guys think of Rafael Devers up to this point in the year, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest.